Welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys an update on Firepointe Energy. This update is very important because pretty soon they're going to be launching their stock. But I'm going to go over their October investor update. And I'm also going to be discussing some strategy, I think, coming from the wealth transfer community relating to the stock. Now, if you don't know what Firepointe Energy is, it is a company that has found a new source of energy, and that was prophesied by Prophet Clement many years ago, going back to 2005, 20 years ago. Clement first prophesied about the Big E, and then about 6 years later after that, he had prophesied the Big E was part of Firepointe. And so we have Firepointe Energy, right? It is the only company that fits. Plus, they're the only ones that has a new energy source, which is coal waste, and turning that into energy, but also rare earth minerals. Now, before I get started, I'm not a financial advisor. And if you like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the comment section. Prophet Clement prophesied about Firepointe Energy many years ago, and this has come in steps and in phases. And you have to keep in mind that this is a baby company. A lot of people are waiting for a Firepointe Energy company already put together, when in fact, we've actually been watching this company form step by step. Many of you already know about XLPI and so on. Now, most recently, we had the opportunity, it was open to the public as far as to be able to invest in Firepointe Energy at around approximately 45 cents per share. And so that has been closed off. So now the thing that we are waiting for is the launch of the stock. Now, I will be discussing some strategy relating to Firepointe Energy. And a lot of this has to do with because of where we are in the markets. You know, there's a lot of volatility in the markets. And I want to discuss some strategy relating to that. So let me go ahead and read this update from Firepointe Energy, October investor update. September was a busy month that saw our company provided with several exciting new opportunities that are detailed within the highlight of this update. As we stretch deeper into the fall months, we'll be welcoming the residents of Salzburg to visit our pilot site and hopefully finalize a new opportunity that will accelerate the development of a second larger site in eastern Pennsylvania. As always, we appreciate your support. We hope you are as excited for these opportunities as we are, CEO Bill Smith. So highlight number 1, Firepointe Energy is expected to bring in a site in Wilkes-Barre under contract late in October. The site currently hosts 10 million tons of coal waste, making it ideal for both power production in service of an AI data center and the extraction of rare earth minerals. The site's owner are willing to carry the cost of developing the site for the first 2 years of the partnership. A subsidiary of Firepointe Energy will be established as a new legal entity for this project, and the site's owner will serve as our joint venture partner. So here we are on another site. This is exciting. This is going to keep happening over and over and over again. And wait till they launch the stock, and this is going to reflect in that. We have completed calculating the valuation of Firepointe Energy based largely on the value of the 3 sites we are working to develop. These calculations give Firepointe Energy a value of $1.75 billion. Our aim is to develop, own, and operate up to 15 sites in Pennsylvania. Folks, this is just in Pennsylvania. In my state of Illinois, there are coal waste sites everywhere. So do you see the opportunity for this? This is going to be huge. And this is going to, it's almost like, to me, you know, like you saw how Amazon started out. You saw how Google started out, you know, and they venture into other things. And what Clement prophesied, that's exactly what this company eventually down the road is going to do. It's just going to continue to grow, probably consume other companies and so on. Point 3. The reverse IPO between Firepointe Energy and Xcelplus International is still progressing. So that is one of the main things that we are waiting on so that we can invest more money when the stock is released. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later. At a recent meeting at Penn State University hosted by State Senator Chris Douche, Firepointe Energy CEO Bill Smith spoke with Representative Paul TACAC about drafting legislation to define waste coal as a clean energy source. And so that's going to be huge for Firepointe. Firepointe Energy is now capable of accepting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency for investing. So that's a positive. Firepointe Energy will be hosting an open house at the Tunnelton Volunteer Fire Department on Saturday, October 4th at 11 a.m. This event will include a tour of Firepointe Energy's pilot site in Salzburg. Firepointe Energy is finalizing the preparation of the area where the trucks will unload natural gas, brine, water for treatment. Now, I know I'm going to get this question because with their stock getting ready to come out, this is something we've discussed for a long time as far as like a market crash. The Dow's going to go below 20,000 and so on, according to what Prophet Clement talked about. People should understand the first time Clement actually prophesied about the dinar, where he said it hasn't been time. He said, don't rely too much on gold, but he said, don't forget about the oak tree. The oak tree prophecies relate to Firepointe Energy, right? And the big E. You guys, if you've studied Clement's prophecies long enough, you will understand that. And so around the time of the dinar is when maybe a lot of people are going to be investing into one of the Clement 8 wells, which is Firepointe Energy, because it is one of the 8 wells of Clement. Now, usually during market downturns, energy companies usually still do very well. It's the gas and oil companies that don't do well during market down cycles. And so some people say, well, everything is going to go to zero. Well, that might very well be. But we know that even if it does drop, it's going to recover. So I do want to talk a little bit about, I think that with the wealth transfer community, those who follow Clement, maybe our responsibility as far as handling Firepointe Energy, handling one of the 8 wells. And a lot of us had the opportunity to get in as an early investor. I actually wanted to invest more, but we were not able to, or it was not open back up for us to do that. And now I regret not putting in a whole lot more because I thought I had more time to put in more. One thing you do have to understand is that there's a lot of major investors in Firepointe, right? Whales, as they say. So when we got in, we were able to get in around the 45-cent range per stock, right? That's what our investment was, right? And there might be whales that got in a little bit cheaper than us. And anytime you launch a stock, of course, when it shoots up, you will have people that will sell. And a lot of times the whales that invested, if they were to see the stock go from 45, 50 cents to $2, $5, you will have some whales selling off, right? That doesn't mean that it's going to drop back down to 45 cents where you bought it from. But if it does, this is part of the strategy that I'm going to be discussing. Now, for me, I think what we should do from the standpoint of the wealth transfer community is not to sell. And that's how we should handle Firepointe Energy. Now, you can put in stop losses. Let's say it does go up to $5, and you want to put in your stop loss at $4.50 because you plan on, if it does trigger, then you will turn around and buy more Firepointe stock, right? And so that can be part of your strategy. And so on launch day, whenever they launch the stock, I don't know what the price is going to be at the time of the launch. You got to remember, this is also the OTC markets, right? So they run a little bit differently. So I will be reserving a certain amount of money on launch day and then maybe have a little bit more just in case the price does go down past further than what I would like to see it go down. And so that way I can buy it more if it happens to dip. So it would be like a reserve if it happens to dip below a certain price. Now, of course, you could have bad actors that are invested and they will try to use the stocks that they purchased in advance to try to bring down the stock even further. You could have that, as this company is a threat to a lot of energy companies down the road in the future. So the main strategy is to buy and hold and buy. And I want to see Firepointe reach that point that Clement had prophesied about 20 years ago. So also during the stock launch, once you have made your purchase and it's been going on for a few days or whatever, of course I'll be making videos about it and promoting the fact that this is Clement's, Firepointe Energy. prophetic company that he discussed. And there's still a lot of people that don't know about Firepointe Energy, right? And there are people that I come across. I just saw recently a lady was like, they were asking about the big E, what is the big E or whatever. And of course, I shared that information. Not only that the Kim Clement ministry, the current Kim Clement ministry, isn't really responsive when it comes to this. People have told me that they don't get responses about Firepointe Energy from the Kim Clement ministry. When they make a comment maybe on their Facebook on a post or a comment on their Twitter, it gets deleted. So I don't know what's going on with that, but the Kim Clement ministry itself has, to me personally, has taken a wrong turn over the last couple years, and it's because of their current leadership. So mainly the strategy is, I'm not too concerned about the ups and downs of the stock market. If Firepointe happens to dip below 45 cents, right, which is what I paid for each stock, then I will continue to just buy more stock. Our strategy should be a buy and hold, right, and continue to buy. And if there is a market downturn and if Firepointe Energy is affected, then just like anything else that, we continue to buy. This is a very important piece of history in the prophetic as far as the wealth transfer and what God has for his people. I mean, this is just, you have to think about how insane the prophecy and how all this has developed with Firepointe Energy. And I think the most important thing is, after the stock launch, is to continue to, to put a lot of effort into letting people know that this is the Kim Clement Firepointe prophetic company that he started speaking about 20 years ago. Now, also too, just to bring back up again, I know there's a lot of swing traders that are in the wealth transfer, and that's fine if you want to do that. There's no condemnation for that. And if there are some people that want to protect their investment, you can always put in stop losses. So again, I'm just going to repeat myself that let's say Firepointe goes to $5, right? You can set your stop losses for $4.50. If it goes up to $2, you can set your stop losses for like $1.80, right? So if it does happen to dip, or if it does happen to, go down with the markets, you could turn around and buy more stocks. So I would suspect by the end of this year that we will get that stock launch. If not by the end of the year, at least in the beginning of the year. But from what I understand, their goal is to launch before this year is out. And that will probably fall in line, hopefully, with a lot of profit taking from the crypto and stock market. Then I would be able to invest so much more into Firepointe Energy. So hopefully we'll get some kind of warning, a few days warning before their stock is launched, and maybe I'll research into that and try to get some questions answered concerning that. But we'll just be waiting for Firepointe at this point in time to launch their stock, and make sure you guys have funds ready to purchase the stock. Don't be in a position where you don't have any money. That's one reason why you need to be careful about investing in, certain cryptos or certain meme coins that are not going to go anywhere. Because trust me, when this stock launch happens, people are going to be scrambling to get money together. Don't be one of those people. Prepare now. The enemy does not want this company to take shape or form. That's already been passed. And it's one of the reasons why I haven't done too many updates on this, because if I know people are cursing other investments, especially the ones that I talk about, I don't want that to be upon Firepointe. So really, that's all that I have for this today. And I'll update you guys if there's any new or relevant information. And I will probably do some more prophecy videos relating to Kim Clement and Firepointe Energy. So anyways, that is all that I have for this today. I thank you guys for listening. God bless.